I'm Bob Mindshine from Illuminated Cueing Arts, and I'm here at the Palm City Desert Palms Billiards Club. They asked me to do a video, a tutorial on the iCAT training system, which is an amazing billiards training system that is simple to use and has so much material to teach you pool, teach you how to make different shots with so many different drills from professionals such as Earl Strickland, Mike Massey, and others, as well as internet personalities such as Tor Lowry, Sherry Berry, and of course our in-house trainer, Robin Dreyer, who has created many of these drills. So there are thousands of drills available for you, and I'm going to walk you through how to use the system. It's quite simple to use, so don't be intimidated. It's very easy. All right. I've got a cheat sheet here, so I'm going to look at that occasionally to make sure I cover everything. Okay, so there are three main components to the system. One is the iCATs, if you can kind of, hard to see, I guess, it's buried. But it's a small little microcomputer about a credit card size, and that's what runs the program, the pool program. And then there is a projector, which you can see up on the wall here, that shines light down onto the pool table. And finally, there's a keyboard that allows you to control the system. And so with these three things, the projector shines the light down onto the table and creates training material that you can use for hours and hours and learn all the critical shots of pool, all the critical skills. All right, so quite an incredible system. To start the system, you need to turn on the iCATs. This one's already on, I'm not going to demonstrate it. And you need to turn on the projector, and somewhere here there's a little control for the projector in the Sun City Desert Palms Billiards Club. There's a little control. Point it at the projector, turn it on, and I believe they leave the the iCATs on here, and so you just turn on the projector and it starts displaying training material. So, really wonderful, easy to start. One of the things that many people ask is, how do you make this thing fit a pool table? How does it fit this pool table? How does it fit a 7-foot pool table? How does it fit a 9-foot pool table? And there's a process called calibration, which allows you to do this. And I'll demonstrate it briefly. This table is already calibrated. I'm gonna do something on the keyboard here. I'm gonna press G, which puts a grid on the table, and if you would take a quick video of the grid so you can see a grid on the table. And the grid, as you can see, is, well, perfect because it's aligned to this 9-foot table, to this situation. And the way you get it aligned is with calibration. And so there's a certain keystroke, and I'll show you more details later, but you do the keystroke. Most everything on the iCATs is a single keystroke, really easy to use. And so I'm going to press the keystroke, and you'll see there's what we call the calibration lines. And the goal with calibration is to make these circles here, line up on the 1x1 diamonds. So you want this circle to be right at the intersection of the 1x1 diamonds. And the way you do that is you press sequentially 1, 2, 3, 4 on the keyboard, and you'll see these light up. So I'm going to press 1 to demonstrate, and you'll see this one lights up yellow. Okay, that means this one is active. And then you just press the arrow key. So I'm going to demonstrate one. So I'm going to go up several, and you can see it move. I'll go down. And of course you can go left and right. And then if I press 2, you see this one light up. And now you can control that one, up, down, left, right. And so you do that sequentially, 1 through 4. You line it up so that the circle is in the 1x1 diamond. and then you're done. And you press S on the keyboard for stop. And now the table is perfectly aligned. Okay, so that's the process of calibration. That's how you work with 7-foot tables, 8-foot tables, 9-foot tables. The program just makes it fit. Okay, I'll remove the grid now. Okay. All right, so this particular tutorial is mostly about using the program. There's two major aspects of this iCAT system. One is using the drills for those people who want to just train and play pool and learn pool. And then the second aspect is creating drills. And I'm not going to cover the creating drills since not a lot of people like to create drills. They like to use the drills. And so I will press the question mark key, which is the help key on this keyboard. And now, if you can get a video of the screen here, you can see that there are many functions on the keyboard, many functions of the iCATs, and they're all displayed here. Most of them are just a single keystroke. We'll focus here on this area, this table function. The other ones are more about creating drills and controlling the system. They're rarely used, but these ones here in this table function are the ones that are more often used, and I'll focus on those. I also want to point out the QR codes up in the top left of the help function, the question mark key. This one over on the left, if you scan that with your phone, you'll get a link to the user's guide for the iCAT system. So if you want to know more than I'm describing today, you can go there. Over here on the right-hand side, you see a link to the author's guide. So if you are interested in creating drills, you can create any drill that you see today with this program. These are all created by, mostly by my business partner, but the author's guide has all the tools and all the information to create drills. All right, so again, that's question mark. So use the question, anytime you want to know how to use the system, the help screen is question mark, and that will bring up this screen and you'll be able to pick a key that will do what you want to do. Okay, so that was the question mark, that's the help screen. And here on the table, I wanted to go through how you load files, right? So now you've walked up to the system, you have powered it on with the remote control for the projector, and you have a drill on the table. Maybe not this drill, but you have a drill. And the next thing you do is you press L on the keyboard, and that's to load a drill. And just for demonstration, let me put the question mark back up, and you'll see over here, load drill is the L. Okay. All right, so let me press L again, and on the table you see a file manager, much like you will see on any computer program that you use in your Apple or PC. And you know, if you can run a file manager on your Apple or your PC, you can run this program. This is just a regular file manager. It operates very much like any file manager that you have used. And so a good way to start is by pressing drills. Okay, and drills takes you to home. It takes you to the top of all the drills that are available for you. The basic iCAT system comes with over 500 drills from a variety of professionals, from our in-house professional, as well as internet personalities. And you can see some of those here. We've got Joe Tucker, Mike Massey, Phil Capel, Ralph Eckert, Sherry Very, Tor, many people like Tor. And then there's ICA, which is our in-house professional instructor. So all of these are available. Many of them come with the system, and there are other ones that you can purchase if you have specialty interests. And from here, it's very much like a typical file manager. I'm going to focus on the ICA section for now. So as you can see, I'm going to double click on ICA, and like any file manager, it goes to the ICA folder. And you can see up at the top, we're on drills ICA. All right, so we've gone into the ICA folder. And we're going to go to the starter module, which has a sampler of many, many drills that ICA provides. So we'll go to the starter module. So I double click on the starter module. You can see we're in drills ICA starter module. And you can see there's all sorts of drills here. Like a typical file manager, you can scroll up and down. So I can grab the scroll bar here with a hold the left mouse button down and then use the trackpad to scroll up and down. Or I can click in this area and scroll a page down. Click in this area again, page down. Click above here, page up. And again, page up. I can use the arrow keys to move down a drill at a time. And you can see down here at the bottom of the table, there's a thumbnail that comes up and it shows you what that drill is. So that's very useful to see what drill you're about to perhaps enter. All right. And there's one I want to go to in particular just to start off, but again, this is a typical file manager. You go up and down, and if you ever want to go back to home, so to speak, go to the drills button. So the drills always get you to the top. And again, I'm going to go to ICA. And again, the starter module, which has a sampler of many ICA drills. And then I want to go down to the bottom here. There's a particular drill I want to start with. I'll go to what we call a transition drill. And I'll explain this in detail, but before I do that, I wanted to just say there are 9 different kinds of drills that ICA provides. There are aiming drills, which is the basic aiming skill. It's the skill that you just have to make a ball. If you can't make a ball, well, it's tough to be successful at pool. So aiming drills are really good for novice players who are just learning to play. You learn to make balls. That is the goal of an aiming drill. Transitions, I'll go through this in detail, but the drill on the table is a transition drill. Third category is a pattern breakdown, which is a set of transitions. It helps you learn to run out the ball. So it takes you from ball 1 to ball 2 to ball 3 to ball 4 to ball 5 and gives you an idea of a pattern that will help you run out that drill, that set of balls. Another kind of drill is a pattern drill, and that is a drill that you have to make generally balls in sequence. So like a 9-ball game, you have 5 balls left, you have to make the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in sequence, and the pattern drills help you learn to do that. Banking drills are another category, and well, it's a bank, right? So you're gonna strike the cue ball into a ball, it's gonna hit a rail, it's gonna bounce off, and it's gonna go into a pocket. And these drills will show you how to do that, what the proper cueing and speed is for that. Kicks is another category. Kicking the ball, you're going to hit a rail first, then hit a ball, and maybe it's a defense, or maybe it's attempting to make the ball. Cue control is another category, which is, I find personally very interesting. The cue control drills tend to focus on controlling the cue ball, making it go where you want to. An example of this is breakout shots, right? Maybe you want to make the ball, maybe you don't want to make the ball, but you want to make the cue ball go somewhere specific and maybe knock out another ball, setting you up for the win. And finally, there's a speed control, and I'll explain that in a minute. But let's talk about this transition drill. So we're going to try this transition with top right and 2.25 speed. All right, well, I made the ball. I didn't follow the path completely, but you got there. These yellow balls kind of serve two purposes. Sometimes you can consider them blocker balls, so there's traffic that you have to get through. You know, you can't go directly to the target. You might have to avoid the blocker balls. Or sometimes the target zone and the yellow balls can be considered the perfect place to leave the cue ball for multiple shots. So you can see if I leave the cue ball here, I've got, you know, that ball, this ball, that ball, that ball. All the balls are shootable. Okay, so that's a transition. One other thing I want to show you here is this little T. This little T is a text box, and usually this contains instructions or other useful information. If I click on it once, you can see it expands. I'll bring it down a little bit so the video can catch it better. And this is just informing you that this is a drill from the Transitions 1 module, which you can purchase if you really like transitions. Transitions 1 is more of a beginner module. Transitions 2 is more advanced. But if I click it again, it goes out of the way, so it's out of the way. You can practice this shot. And that's a transition, and that describes most of the aspects of, of this particular drill. To move to the next drill, the most simple way to do it is the arrow key. So up and down arrow are next and previous drill. So if I click the up arrow, you'll see I've got another transition here. Up arrow again. I got a kick. Up arrow again. I've got a challenging drill that is multiple transitions. So you've got to make the one ball and land sequentially on the T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. And again, up arrow, up arrow, up arrow, you get a new drill every time in that directory that you have selected. These happen to be pattern drills, so these are ones that you can shoot either in sequence, or you can shoot any ball at any time just to practice making balls. So every drill that's available is here in this starter module, and I would recommend you start with the starter module just to get an experience with all the drills that are available. And I think that is most everything I wanted to cover. Let me see if there was something more. I think that was most everything I wanted to cover. If I wanted to summarize a few things just to highlight some of the, some of the ease of use and some of the things you should keep in your mind. One is it's just one click of the projector to turn it on. Turn on the projector, the lights come on, things happen. The L key gives you the menu, typical file manager, and use it like you normally would. So you've got the left click, you've got the mouse pad to move the mouse. You can use arrow keys to move things around and see highlights of the drills that are available to you. And you can double click a drill, or once you've selected a drill, press enter, and it loads the drill. So very simple to use. And question mark, there's always the question mark key. If you're not sure what to do, press question mark. Focus on the table column, which is the things that you will use the most if you're consuming drills. So thank you for your time. Again, I'm Bob Meinsheim from Illuminated Cueing Arts. And thanks to the Sun City Palm Desert Billiards Club for having me out here. I hope this video is useful to you.